What if the most basic ingredient in your kitchen was silently poisoning you? New investigations reveal dangerous toxins and deadly bacteria lurking in your favorite flour brands. The flour you use every day holds secrets most people never consider. Recent tests by U.S. health authorities in 2024 and 2025 have uncovered dangerous substances in numerous flour brands sold nationwide. We're talking about cancer-causing toxins, banned pesticides, and harmful bacteria. 7 brands failed to meet safety standards, while 2 brands were found to be completely clean. Here's everything you need to know before your next grocery run. The Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, is tasked with protecting you from unsafe food. When they find something concerning, they issue public warnings and compel stores to pull products from their shelves. Over the last year, they've issued an unusually high number of alerts regarding flour. A clear pattern has emerged. Something is going wrong in the American flour supply chain. Independent lab tests from programs like Consumer Reports have provided even more data. They tested 15 different flour products for over 500 different pesticides. The results essentially split the market in 2. Some brands came back with multiple contaminants, while others were perfectly clean. The difference between safe and unsafe flour often comes down to things you can't see, smell, or taste. That's why it's so critical to know which brands you can trust. We'll start with number 7 on the list of brands to avoid: all-purpose flour, Type 650 from Good Mills USA, sold at Trader Joe's stores across the country. Good Mills is actually one of the largest flour producers in the nation. They own well-known brands like Gold Medal and King Arthur flour. The company proudly displays certifications on its website, including ISO 9001, IFS, BRC, and HACCP. These certifications are meant to guarantee food safety and quality control. In February of 2025, Trader Joe's had to recall this specific flour from every single one of its stores. The reason was bacterial contamination, specifically with Escherichia coli. The affected batches had barcodes ending in 28005, with expiration dates of September 29th and 30th, 2025. E. coli bacteria can cause severe stomach problems, including diarrhea, vomiting, and intense abdominal pain. For children, the elderly, and anyone with a weakened immune system, these infections can quickly become life-threatening. The presence of E. coli in flour points to hygiene failures somewhere in the production process. For a company with all those quality certifications, finding harmful bacteria in their product raises serious questions. How could this have happened? What went wrong in their supposedly certified facilities? The price of this flour was low, around $2 to $3 for a 2-pound bag. But the true cost of a contaminated product goes far beyond what you pay at the checkout counter. Number 6 on our list to avoid is the bread rye flour type 720 from Milco, sold in Whole Foods supermarkets nationwide. The company's full name is Milco Milling Partners. The FDA ordered this flour to be recalled after tests revealed abnormal physicochemical results. The official statement declared that these results could pose a health risk to consumers. The affected batch had the barcode 590421834 and a best buy date of December 3, 2025. So what exactly do abnormal physicochemical results mean? The authorities didn't get into every single detail in their public warning. These issues could cover anything from improper moisture levels, which create the perfect breeding ground for mold and mycotoxins, to mechanical contaminants or foreign substances. It might even mean the flour simply didn't live up to what the label promised. Milco issued a statement urging customers to immediately stop using the product. They offered a full refund, with or without a receipt. When a major supermarket chain recalls a product and offers no questions asked refunds, that tells you something serious went down. Type 720 rye flour is a popular choice for baking traditional American-style rye bread. Many families use it every single week. Finding out that a staple like this failed safety tests really hits home. Moving on to number 5, Type 720 rye flour from Gold Medal Mills. This one might surprise you because this company actually shows up again later on this list for a completely different reason. Gold Medal Mills is a well-established American flour producer with a long history in the market. You can find their products in grocery stores all across the country. In November of 2024, the FDA issued a public health alert regarding their Type 720 rye flour, with the batch number December 21st, 2024, 1030030CL1. The problem was ochratoxin A. This is a mycotoxin, a toxic substance produced by certain types of mold. The National Institutes of Health confirmed that consuming this product could pose a health risk to consumers. Ochratoxin SE is classified as a possible human carcinogen by international health agencies. It damages the kidneys over time, accumulating in the body with repeated exposure. Regularly eating even small amounts can lead to chronic kidney problems. The price of this flour was around $2 to $3 per 2-pound bag. Affordable, available everywhere, and contaminated with a substance linked to cancer. This case proves that even trusted, long-standing producers can have issues with specific batches. The contamination likely originated from the raw rye grain itself. Number 4 takes us to millet flour from Bob's Red Mill, a well-known company based out of Oregon. This company distributes millet flour in 2-pound, 5-pound, and 25-pound packages. The affected batch had a production date code of June 2025 with a best buy date of June 2026. The FDA issued its warning in November of 2025 after tests showed levels of chlorpyrifos above the legal limit. Here's why that matters. Chlorpyrifos is a pesticide that is no longer authorized for most uses in the United States. Regulators revoked its authorization for all food applications due to serious safety concerns. Studies have shown links between exposure to chlorpyrifos and brain development problems in children. Studies have found links to attention deficits and cognitive issues, particularly in young children and even unborn babies. The substance attacks the nervous system. That's how it kills insects. But it can also impact the human nervous system, especially one that's still developing. Millet flour is often a go-to for health-conscious parents seeking wheat alternatives. Many people buy it specifically to feed their toddlers. To find a banned neurotoxic pesticide in a product marketed as a healthy option is deeply disturbing. Public health officials have made it clear, any level above the legal limit could potentially pose a risk to consumer health. This flour was sold in health food stores and wholesalers, places where people thought they were making a better choice for their families. They were paying a premium for what they believed was a safer, cleaner product, only to bring a banned chemical into their homes. Coming in at number 3 is whole rye flour, Type 720, from a company called Nature's Promise, a brand often found at Stop & Shop or Giant. The company specializes in healthy and organic foods. Their 2-pound bag of whole rye flour, with the lot number 11025, was pulled from the shelves as a precautionary measure. Why precautionary? Because the FDA discovered that this flour came from the same batch of raw grain as another product that had tested positive for ochratoxin A. When one product from a grain batch shows contamination, everything made from that same batch becomes suspect. Nature's Promise made the right call by voluntarily recalling the product before waiting for more test results. But the situation reveals a much bigger problem in our food supply chain. A single contaminated shipment of grain can spread through multiple products, impacting countless consumers across the country. This type of whole rye flour is exactly what people buy when they want something healthier than processed white flour. It retains more of the natural fiber and nutrients from the grain. Customers shopping at health food stores and organic markets expect a higher standard of quality control. Discovering potential mycotoxin contamination in these specific products completely shatters that trust. It turns out the same company had another product with confirmed ochratoxin A issues, which brings us to our next item. Number 2, whole grain rye flour, Type 2000, also from Nature's Promise. It's the same company, just a different type of flour. This 2-pound bag of whole grain rye flour, Type 2000, with the lot number 1122, was the one that actually tested positive for ochratoxin A, triggering the precautionary recall for the Type 720 flour as well. The FDA issued an official warning on November 6, 2024. Public health officials assessed the risk and confirmed that consuming this product could be a threat to your health. Type 2000 is the most whole-grain version of rye flour you can buy. It contains the highest amount of fiber, vitamins, and minerals because almost nothing is stripped away during the milling process. Health-conscious consumers specifically seek out this type of flour. They pay more for it. They trust that a company marketing itself as a __one__brand is delivering safe, quality products. Instead, they got flour contaminated with a cancer-causing mycotoxin. The price was around $2 to $3 a kilogram, more expensive than standard supermarket flour, but supposedly worth it for the health benefits. Ochratoxin A is resistant to high temperatures. Baking bread at normal temperatures of 390 to 450 degrees Fahrenheit doesn't completely destroy it. Studies show that about 50% of the toxin can survive the baking process. Whatever ochratoxin was in that flour, it ended up in the final baked goods people were eating. Number 1 on the flours to avoid. The worst case, rye bread flour, type 720, from the company Gold Medal. Sold exclusively in Kroger stores across the country. On October 2nd, 2024, the FDA ordered an immediate recall. The 2.2-pound package of rye bread flour, type 720, had levels of ochratoxin A above the permissible limit. Numerous batches were affected. Batch numbers 31485/24, 31492/24, and 31495/24, all with expiration dates in November of 2024. The National Institutes of Health stated bluntly that consuming products from these batches could pose a health risk to consumers. Gold Medal is a huge company with a state-of-the-art facility in Minneapolis. Their flour reaches millions of customers through the nationwide network of Kroger stores. When contamination hits a product with that kind of distribution, the potential exposure is massive. Kroger responded by offering full refunds at any of their stores. No receipt required. Ochratoxin A, as previously discussed, damages the kidneys and is classified as a probable human carcinogen. The mycotoxin comes from mold growth on the grain, usually during storage in damp conditions. Rye seems particularly susceptible given the pattern of recalls in the U.S. 4 of the 7 products on this list are rye flours with ochratoxin problems. Something is going wrong with how rye is being stored and processed in the American supply chain. Looking at the pattern across all 7 products tells an important story. 3 different types of contamination showed up. Mycotoxins from mold growth, banned pesticides from agricultural chemicals, and bacteria from hygiene failures. 3 different problems, but one common thread. Quality control failed at some point between the farm and the grocery store shelf. Consumers had no way of knowing their flour was dangerous until government inspectors found the problems and issued warnings. Most people never check FDA alerts before they go shopping. They trust that the products on the shelves meet safety standards. These 7 cases prove that this trust isn't always justified. Now for some good news. 2 brands of flour performed exceptionally well in an independent lab analysis. The Food Forensics Program sent samples to the Food Safety Research Lab at the National Center for Agricultural Utilization Research. These labs tested for over 500 different pesticides, including glyphosate. 2 products came back with 0 detectable residues. The first outstanding flour is an organic rye bread flour from Great Plains Organic Milling, distributed under the brand name Nature's Best. This organic rye bread flour is available in 2-pound bags. The food forensics test showed absolutely no pesticides out of the more than 500 substances analyzed. 0 glyphosate, 0 synthetic chemicals of any kind. The 2024 Pesticide Atlas from the Bell Foundation reported that the United States detected pesticide residues in 57.9% of all food samples tested in 2021. Nearly 60% of our food had some chemical traces. This organic rye flour had none. Great Plains Organic Milling sources its grain from certified organic farms in the heart of America's breadbasket. This region has a lower intensity of industrial agriculture compared to other parts of the country. Organic certification means farmers cannot use synthetic pesticides or artificial fertilizers on their crops. The certification requires inspections and documentation throughout the entire growing and processing chain. This flour does cost more than conventional alternatives, typically running between $4 and $5 for a 2-pound bag. But what you're paying for is verified purity and complete supply chain transparency. For baking traditional sourdough bread, this organic rye flour delivers on both safety and quality. The flour has a natural aroma and color that comes from properly handled grain. You can find this product at health food stores like Whole Foods, local farmers markets, and online retailers like Thrive Market. The second top-tier flour will surprise a lot of people. It's the all-purpose flour from King Arthur Baking Company. Yes, the very same King Arthur Baking Company that appeared on the avoid list earlier for its whole wheat flour. Their all-purpose flour, however, came out perfectly clean in the food forensics analysis. 0 pesticides detected out of over 500 tested. No glyphosate, no synthetic chemical residues whatsoever. This proves something important. A manufacturer can have issues with one product while maintaining excellent quality in another. Different grain sources, different processing lines, and different outcomes. All-purpose flour has a finer texture, ideal for cakes, pastries, and delicate baked goods. The price is incredibly affordable, around $3 to $4 for a 5-pound bag. This puts a clean, lab-tested flour within reach of average shoppers who can't afford premium organic price tags. You can find this flour in regular grocery stores, supermarkets like Kroger, and sometimes even at Walmart during promotional periods. The fact that a conventional, non-organic flour tested completely clean shows that proper quality control can produce safe products without the premium organic price. King Arthur clearly maintains better oversight of its all-purpose wheat supply chain than its whole wheat operations. This flour is perfect for birthday cakes, cookies, tart crusts, and any recipe that calls for a fine, light texture. Understanding why these differences exist helps you make smarter choices at the grocery store. Organic certification, like the one held by Bob's Red Mill Organic Flours, guarantees that no synthetic pesticides were used on the crops. Conventional producers can also achieve clean results, but it depends entirely on their supplier relationships and testing protocols. It seems that General Mills, for instance, has better control over its wheat sources than its rye sources. Rye, as a crop, appears to be more problematic across the United States in general. 4 of the 7 recalled products were rye flours contaminated with mycotoxins. Rye might be more susceptible to mold growth during storage, or perhaps American rye storage facilities sometimes have inadequate climate control. Either way, rye flour requires extra caution on the part of the consumer. Mycotoxins like ochratoxin A develop when grain sits in damp conditions. Proper drying and temperature-controlled storage are key to preventing mold growth. When these crucial steps fail, toxins form that cannot be removed later on. Pesticide residues, on the other hand, tell a different story. They come from chemicals applied to crops during their growth cycle, or from contaminated imported grain. The chlorpyrifos found in the millet flour likely came from grain grown outside the U.S., where this banned pesticide is still legal. The United States imports significant quantities of grain, and these imported products can carry pesticides that would never be approved for use on American fields. Following 7 simple rules will help you spot high-quality flour every time. Rule number 1, read the origin information on the package. Look for labels that say 100% USA grown or have a USDA organic seal. Avoid packages that vaguely state a blend of domestic and imported grain. This ambiguous language often hides the true source. Rule number 2, check the protein content if it's listed. All-purpose flour should have at least 9% protein. Bread flour needs a minimum of 11%. High-gluten flour should be at 14% or more. Rule number 3, look at the production or _5_ dates. Always choose fresher packages when possible. Rule number 4, be suspicious of extremely low prices. Quality flour typically costs between $2 and $5 for a standard 5-pound bag. A price below $2 almost always means corners were cut somewhere in the process. Rule number 5, look for certifications. The USDA organic seal means no synthetic pesticides by law. A __quote_6__ label ensures full traceability. Rule number 6, trust your senses when you open the bag. Good flour smells like fresh, sweet grain. It has a natural, creamy color. An artificial, bright white color suggests heavy processing and bleaching. Rule number 7, buy from transparent producers. Companies like King Arthur Baking Company and certain product lines from Gold Medal often publish their test results and quality parameters. Transparency signals confidence in their product. Checking for USDA or FDA alerts before a big grocery run only takes a few minutes. Government websites list all current recalls and warnings. Batch numbers and expiration dates pinpoint exactly which products have issues. Not every single package from a recalled brand is necessarily dangerous. Usually, it's just specific lots that fail testing. But if you have a product at home that matches a